Hi everyone, this is Stephanie. This is Changing Scripts, and this is an aha video. Ooh, oh wow, that was a really obnoxious sound. So we're back in the kitchen, making coffee again. Where's my coffee cup? There he is. If you come to Shanghai, Zoo Coffee is a really cute, I like kitschy. I love kitschy. I've lived in Asia long enough where if something doesn't have a cartoon character or a theme, I'm kind of disappointed. And I'm not just talking about restaurants and coffee shops. I'm talking about bedspread. I'm talking about not so much clothing because I don't really wear a lot of cartoony stuff, but I like bright. I like obnoxious colors now. I'm really that person, as you can tell from my red door. Have I ever shown you this? I think I did in one of the first few videos. Anyway, look, this is Changing Scripts, and this is a video series documenting my ups and downs of learning to read and write in Chinese. And I wanted to do an aha moment because, for a few reasons. And I wanted to talk about word frequency and character frequency. I am using my selfie stick for the first time, and I don't know, I'm still not the hugest fan. I'm probably going to make a really awkward mistake while this all happens. Oh, okay, that's kind of more comfortable. Right, and I can't get the sound down, so do tell me if the sound doesn't work. On the last video that I made with the black and white cool effects, I am working on fixing the sound with that. Worst case scenario, I'll redo it, but I really don't want to do that today because, can you see this? If you see a blur, it's because it's actually sunny out. It is the plum rainy season here in Shanghai, and the rainy season starts in the south and moves up regionally within China during this time of year, and it has been absolutely awful for about 2 weeks straight. Just rain, and now it is sunny. Okay, my windows are super dirty, but I think you can see the fact that there is light coming through, which is really exciting. So I'm going to get out to a park today. Maybe even I'll do a walkabout video if I can get into a place where there are a lot of characters. That's really up close. Oh, there we go. That's better. So anyway, so I wanted to, oh, this is another cute thing here. You have to carry around, not so much in Tier 1 cities like Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, that kind of thing, but you have to carry around these little, do you see these little packets of tissues? In a lot of other places, and even within Tier 1s, it's good to have something like this. These are Japanese themed because I got them from a Japanese dollar store, but you generally have to have these around just in case anytime, and so I've started to make them decorations. Because I like kitschy. Did I mention that? Alright, I have to start talking about language now, which means I need to go grab my coffee. Yeah. So, okay. As I mentioned before, I was a language teacher for a number of years, and I still might be. I don't know that I'm completely done with that part of my life. Wow. I think I might have filled that up too much. Don't think that I'm blasphemous when I get rid of part of this. I have really sensitive teeth, so I have to add ice to my coffee. It drives my husband crazy. It's tainting. Anything other than just black coffee taints the coffee. Okay, so I need to grab some ice, which is not working out. Oh, that is the ice. Alright, so here's the thing. I taught language for a long time, and there's things that you learn when you teach a language that help people. Because the people that learn languages really well, they soar through the classes or they stop coming to the classes because they learn languages really well. And sometimes they don't need the classroom environment. I am not one of those people. I have found advantages to going to a language class, and I have found a lot of advantages of not going to a language class. So I'm sort of one of those in-between people that could do either and still get modest to, it almost doesn't look like any results. I'm a crappy language learner, which is why I'm documenting this, because I want to push past that, because I do think anybody can learn a language. It's just a matter of not giving up. And since I'm going to be in Shanghai until January of next year anyway, I figured this is a really good time to just push through. This is our lovely red couch. How awesome is that? There's a lot of red in the apartment. I think they went a little gung-ho. The renovated apartments in Shanghai are usually very beautiful, but not very functional. They shove too much furniture into any one place, and it makes it almost unlivable. But we had them take away a fair number of stuff, which sometimes they don't even want to do because then they have to throw it away. But our landlord was, okay, you're going to get the ceiling for a second, was complacent enough. Not complacent enough, was nice enough. There we go. See, words have meaning. So it was nice enough to do that for us. Okay, so frequency. I really want to get to frequency. So as I was teaching the language, it didn't take me very long to come across different kinds of frequency lists. When I was teaching academic English, there was the very disputed, in academia anyway, academic word list, which, oh gosh, I was a huge fan of that for a while, and now I can't remember the name of the person. I've really washed academia out of my hair. Seriously. Axel Coxhead is the person that started the academic word list, AWL, academic word list. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that people actually took, now if you're talking about a specific kind of language, like within English, because this is where most of my knowledge comes from, again, is that my first language, and my hand's holding up the stick, so I can only do partial quote. Please see that as a double quote, both sides. Anyway, point being, English is the language that I am the most fluent in by far, of any that I have tried to learn, and it is the one that I have taught, and so it's the one that I have analyzed as far as grammatical structures and other aspects of the language go. So, here we go. Frequency. If you're talking about academic English, which is a subset of regular English, and it's a kooky creature, right? There are specific vocabulary items that people use within academic English that you generally wouldn't use outside of academia, and people kind of get, not made fun of, but you would look at someone really weird if they spoke like an academic journal text in person in a casual conversation in a coffee shop. It's just odd. It's outside of the genre, right? So, and same still, you wouldn't write as you would for like a music video, for like a song in a newspaper article. It's a different kind of language. It's a different genre. We all know genres, right? Yeah, okay, fine. So here's my struggle with Chinese, and here's my aha moment. Is this past week I found Kangxi Radical List. It's a frequency list. I still need to do some research on it, but my heart kind of went, what? Because I like the fact that when people take a certain part of the language and they count up how many of this, in this case it sounds like it's radicals, it's possibly characters, I'm not quite sure, I still need to do some research, but they counted up how many are used, and they made a list from most used to less used, and they numbered them. Most used is 1, second most used is 2, that kind of thing. And I'm super excited about this because I think if something is used a lot, then you get a lot more return on motivation when you learn it, because then you hear it more, you see it more, and it's reinforced, especially in a situation where I'm in, where I'm seeing and hearing the language every day. If I can see and hear more of it that I understand, that's awesome, and that helps keep me going motivation-wise, and a lot more of what's going on around me is open up understanding-wise. So I really like frequency lists. I know there's a lot of dispute in them, not just in academia, but a lot of people think you should just learn a certain way, either being the way that has been taught forever, or a way that they've been taught, or a way they've been taught to teach. So there's a lot of opinions about how you should learn a language. So the aha yay moment is finding the Kangxi Radical List, which I'm sure I'm saying wrong. I'm still just very new to the pronunciation of the tones. It's Kangxi. I'm not sure of the tones on that, so I am sorry about that. But if you type that in, it will come up. So I found that list, and that made me really, really happy. I'm still going with an Anki flashcard deck with all of the radicals that I find. I think there's 200 something. I'm still around 70 or 80 flashcards, which I'm feeling very productive with. So I'm very happy with that, and I'm reviewing them with the time-space repetition every day, blah, blah, blah. But I'm starting a different Anki deck for these most frequent Kangxi radicals also. I imagine there'll be a ton of, I'm not actually starting a different list. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. When I get to the end of the list that I'm using, I'm working off of a website that does the radicals by stroke order. Sorry, my eyes are so gooey. It's the rainy season brings a lot of the crap, a lot of the pollution from up, way up high, down low, and it just gives me up. Anyway, let me take coffee. See, collocations matter. Let me have some coffee. I don't know why I'm spewing linguistic terms after having woken up like half an hour ago. Why is this happening? Can I completely shake grad school? Ever. All right, look, here's the deal. I'm not going to recreate a new list because the list that I'm working off of that goes by stroke order and lists the radicals have 180, I think 2, and I showed that in a previous video, so go ahead and look that up. In the marathon video, I show you exactly how I make the flashcards and where I get all the information, and that website's in there. So I'm not going to recreate it. What I'm going to do is get to the end of the list that I'm at and then go through, compare it to the Kanshi radicals, and add the ones that are missing. Because the list I'm working on has 180 something radicals, and the Kanshi radicals has 214. I did tweet the list I'm working with. I did tweet the people that made the list, that made the website, and I asked them what the difference is between the two, and I haven't heard back from them yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm guessing there are some on the Kanshi radical list that, although they were popular when that frequency list was made, they're not very much so used in modern day Chinese. So I'm guessing that's the answer, but I'm very, very curious what the answer is straight from the horse's mouth. And, oh gosh, whenever I think of horse now, I think of the wrong tone, and I think of mother, and I think of making that mistake on Twitter. It's true, your mistakes help you learn. It really is. Okay, if you want to see all of that, go to my Twitter. It's all in there. I had some fun kind of trying to dissect characters in a way that they probably shouldn't need to be sometimes. Anyway, the point is frequency lists. I love them. So I'm going to finish the list I'm working on that goes by stroke order that I think is somewhat Kanshi radical based, and then I'm going to go through and add the rest. And so in the end, I'm going to have a list of 1 to 214 of 214 most common radicals, or at least most common radicals, when that frequency list was made. So that's the aha moment. The challenging moment is, and this is something I need to do research-wise, when was this made? When was this list made? How frequently are these characters used now? Again, my vocabulary is so low that learning anything really, really helps me, and learning the radicals really, really helps me, because as we learned recently, these do seem to be stem ideas for the words that they show up in when they're components within a character later. So it is very, very important to learn the meanings of these, because they help you get the sense of a character, even if the meaning and the name of them and the pronunciation of them changes later. So I am super, super keen on keeping going with radicals, because I think this helps a ton. The fact that I'm working on radicals only for, it's been 2.5 months now, probably be 3.5 months by the time I'm done. Let's just say 4 months. I spend 4 months on radicals, I think is a really solid foundation that will really help later. I anticipated that I wouldn't get to grammar until 6 to 9 months, and I think it would probably be closer to 9 months. Although I am seeing some stuff on Twitter when people do like phrases in Chinese that are really useful. I am going to start pulling those over into a different Anki flashcard deck, because I don't see the harm in getting useful phrases that I can use every day. There was one yesterday that was, I wish I had copied it now. It was, I want one coffee. I want one coffee. For when I don't make my own coffee, I do. See, there's the monkey butt. I don't know why he doesn't have a tail, but he's super cute. Oh, I didn't finish that, did I? Zoo Coffee, Z-O-O, Zoo Coffee, is a really cute coffee shop. Their coffee's okay, that's not really what they're good with, but it's a very cute themed zoo stuffed animal joint, and they have very comfy seats, and they don't care if you sit for a long time. Their food's okay, their snacks are pretty good. So they're all over Shanghai. Are they all over China? If you know, leave a comment below. Anyway, so the aha moment, yay! I found a frequency list I like The question is, how much are these used? I'm guessing since I'm seeing a lot of these radicals around, they're used quite a bit. And the struggle is, where do I go after this? It's still going to take me a little while, and I still have the 625 most frequent concrete words from Fluent Forever that I want to work with, but is that the next step? So I'm kind of thinking ahead, because I'm going pretty fast on making the radical flashcards now, but I like to look ahead. And even with the pronunciation, it turned out to be a good thing that I did the 100 most common radicals without the pronunciation, because now when I go back through and I'm adding the pronunciation and learning them, instead of being resistant and thinking that just means box, I am actually absorbing the sound, and I'm going to get this so wrong, but box or open in it, okay, it's like day 4, so please forgive me if that's wrong, but the sounds are sticking. So it was a good thing to get the meaning down of the radicals first and then come back and do the pronunciation of them. So I was a little scared I'd be resistant of that, but that's actually working. Okay, this video is getting way too long. The point is frequency. And if you're learning Chinese right now, I'm very curious how concerned with frequency of the characters you were learning were. Did you just go to a class and follow the books they were using? Did you, if you're learning online, like I am, with like tons of different apps and different websites and things, and learning from other people and learning from your mistakes, what research did you do to find most frequent stuff to get you to a comfortable level sooner than later? I'm very curious where frequency is on the radar of people that are learning the language by themselves. That's the question. That's the ultimate question I want to ask, is what are you doing with frequency, if anything? I think a lot of materials build in some sort of frequency, but if it's anything like English, there's a lot of materials that don't, and they start with what they think will help you in your daily life, even if it's something you use maybe once a year, which isn't frequent. Like when we teach, I brush my teeth to beginners of English learners, I kind of cringe. How often do you have that conversation about brushing your teeth in the morning? How often do you have that conversation about daily routine in your house while you're getting ready to be presentable to leave the house? Like, not very often. I kind of think there are other words that would be much more useful once you leave the house and start communicating with people than I brush my teeth. Just saying. I don't know. I think there's something really big with frequency that really helps language learners. And I'd be curious to find out what you think about all of this. So I'm going to drink my coffee on my lovely red couch, and I hope to hear from you. And thank you very much. Have a good day, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are. And I'm going to go play badminton in the sun. I don't care how hot it is. There's sun out. I am going to go get some sun. I hope you do too. Bye.